in the NBA last season with at least 85 blocks and 85 steals. Stephen A. Had the Knicks silenced criticism as we dance to Go New York, Go New York, Go on their off-season wheeling and dealing, which at the time in this city was very controversial.
Yeah, let me tell you something, Peter. I didn't hear the damn question because that's the longest ass intro into a question I've ever had on First
I
Take.
wrote it.
But that's okay, Peter. That's okay. Ain't nothing but love for you. Ain't nothing but love for you, right? That's a long ass intro. That's a long. You want your TV time, you got it, okay? But that's all right. That's okay. Here's the deal, Peter. Here's the deal. Anthony Towns deal. You got to continue to play well because of the way Julius Randle has looked in Minnesota. Mm-hmm. Like we talked about, his game has elevated in the postseason. We never saw Julius Randle play like that as a New York Knick in the postseason. Okay, the way he's looked thus far. So I got that part. Here's where it gets interesting. Packaged by the league. Mikal Bridges, you gave up 5 first-round picks. 4 of them unprotected. Plus a swap. Plus a second-rounder. That's a lot. Especially when you consider the fact that the Lakers didn't have to come close to giving anything like that up. Not that they could have, but they didn't have to come close to giving anything like that up for Luka Doncic. So, knowing that you did this for a dude who has never been an all-star, that's a lot. That's a lot. And especially when you consider the fact that it potentially gets in the way of you being able to go out and get somebody like a Giannis. Because you don't have the assets. You see what I'm saying? So looking at it from that perspective, and put Perk on the screen, please. Looking at it from that perspective, it doesn't look great until last night when we saw Mikal Bridges show up in the fourth quarter the way that he did. Now, Mikal Bridges has to understand you have to be that guy. We understand, and understand this. It's not like Leon Rose got holes or something like that. It's an unwritten rule. Perk knows this, Peter. It's an unwritten rule in the NBA. Brooklyn doesn't do business with the Knicks under normal circumstances. Brooklyn doesn't do business with the Knicks under normal circumstances because they're the rival. You're trying to have your own inroads, and you're not trying to help the local franchise, that is the New York Knicks. So there was no way they were going to get a Mikal Bridges, who's a champion collegiately and a personal friend of Jalen Brunson, who is the face of the New York Knicks franchise. They did it for him. And you also have to remember that Jalen Brunson, could have waited a year and got an additional $100 million from the Knicks. He didn't do that. So considering what his level of production was, along with the financial sacrifice that he made for the New York Knicks, if you're Leon Rose and them, you had to go out and do what they did, and there was no way that you were going to get him from the Nets unless you gave them the farm. So knowing that, it's up to Mikal Bridges to make sure he's that dude. To make sure, you don't have to be an all-star. You don't have to be a 25-per-game scorer. Perk said it very, very astutely the other day. Don't be the dude that was on the Brooklyn Nets. Be the dude that was on the Phoenix Suns, that went to the finals with Chris Paul and Devin Booker and those brothers. That's who Mikal Bridges needs to be. He needs to be reliable. He needs to be good for 19 to 20 a night. He needs to be somebody whose perimeter shots you can rely upon and whose defense you lean on along with that of Anunoby as well, because that's going to elevate the New York Knicks defensively. He has to be that guy on a consistent basis for years to come in order to justify all they had to give up for him, even though we understand the reason they had to give it up is because they were doing business with the Brooklyn Nets, their crosstown rival. Not a rival, but, the crosstown team that ain't trying to look to help you at all. We understand it. That's what comes with it. But the only way to validate this is for Mikal Bridges to look a hell of a lot like he looked last night in Game 2, to look like that significantly more frequently throughout his career with the New York Knicks for the foreseeable future.
Peter, I was going to tell you to pull out the stopwatch, but the man was speaking a lot of facts, so I let him go on for 2.5 minutes. You was on the clock for a minute there.
You let the executive producer go on? Okay. Go ahead.
You was on the clock there for a minute. But here's the thing. Who's criticizing right now?
Nobody.
Nobody's saying a damn word. Stephen A. is happy. Tracy Morgan happy. Fat Joe is happy. Everybody's happy around the city of New York, right? Yeah. Mikal Bridges. Again, the Phoenix Suns, Mikal Bridges. In back-to-back games. Crucial steal on Jalen Brown. Don't even let him get a shot at tip up. Crucial steal, active hands on Jason Tatum. Game-sealing steal. Big corner threes, big fourth-quarter game two. Like, he's having those impactful moments that you want to see. And I still think you could get more out of him, and I believe you're going to get more if you're a New York Knicks fan out of him once he get in Madison Square Garden. Karl Anthony Towns has been balling. This team is not only on the verge, and I believe is going to the Eastern Conference, but I say, let's be real here. They about to knock off the NBA champions. This team got a legit shot at winning the NBA championship, dog. Like, think about this. If things play the way that it look like it's trending, it's looking like the Knicks versus the Pacers. The Knicks got a shot at beating the Pacers. Okay, you get to the finals.
The Pacers are good.
The Knicks
go look good.
The Pacers are good. I'm just saying. So yes, they have silenced the critics because no one's complaining in New York City.
I think the fear was they would lose the toughness of Randall, the toughness of DiVincenzo. But
they had during the regular season. They did lose.
They did. These guys in the clutch have stepped up, and when you see Cat playing the way he is in crunch time, and of course Bridges the last two nights, it's hard to question the moves by Leon Rose in that front office. Guys, the Celtics find themselves down 0-2 right now. Can the duo of Tatum and Brown lead them back? Someone here says it's not over yet.
And I know the numbers. You're going to tell me, Gary, all about what happened during the regular season. And I'm going to tell you this. Is it weird to say the Knicks are probably happy to see the Celtics after that grueling, drag-out mosh pit of a battle with the Detroit Pistons? Now they can get back to just playing some basketball.
This is Alan Hahn's victory lap. And listen, aside from, having to climb out of a 20-point hole each of the first two games, Alan Hahn, you might have been onto something. This, a far more welcoming series for the way the Knicks want to play basketball, right?
Yeah, I mean, they had them right where they wanted them, down 20
exactly.
in the third quarter, right? Obviously. But look, there's a lot of things here to look at. Number one, obviously not the same physicality that the Knicks had to deal with the Pistons, and they're almost relieved by it. But it's the same situation as the team leaving the door open for this team that has the best closer in the game on it and also has just a toughness about them mentally. But let me give you a number here. 25 for 100. I'm not good at math, but I do know that's 25%. That's the default for the Celtics is the three-point shot.